I get this a lot. Why does narcissistic people, why do they have a hard time changing? Why they don't like to change? Why they won't change? Well, narcissistic people are addicted to the negative attention. The negative attention that affects you and affects them in a positive way, because they can see that it makes you cry, right? Makes you sick, makes you storm off. But the problem is when we do all these things to women, and when women like me do it to men, when y'all storm off and get mad and cry and swear up and down, you're not going to talk to us again. You start texting as much and calling. You turn around and you do the same thing over and over again. So in a narcissistic person's mind, they think that this is what you want. I knew better. I knew that this is not what she wanted. I knew she didn't want to be dysfunctional like me. I knew she didn't want to argue and fight all the time and didn't have sex. I knew she didn't want that, but I told myself this is what she wanted so that I can keep getting a rise out of her, so I can keep hurting her feelings, making her cry, and making her come back. A lot of y'all not going to want to hear this video, but it's true. So, I'm talking from my 20s up into my 40s, right? Without any type of therapy. Narcissistic people are groomed and developed from a negative mindset, from a negative aspect. We always talk about them being abused and neglect. That's what it comes from, abuse and neglect. So that becomes their norm. It became my norm. Like, okay, I'm going to hurt you before you hurt me, because when you hurt me, I can't handle it. And I couldn't handle being hurt. I got hurt as a child over and over and over again. And I started going to the shell until I created Leon, right? And so they're going to hurt you before you hurt them. And they're going to like it. Y'all talk about they don't love things. Right, I get that. But they do love the negative attention. The negative attention is what gets them to want to move in a certain direction, want to talk to you about the argument, because they feel like you want to argue, they want to argue again, re-argue, do a do-over so they can win the argument and make you cry, and then have sex, and then make you emotional, and then make you hold on to them. So they love the negative attention. 3 stories I got for you. When I was in recruiting, I used to push a woman's button until one woman came to my job with a butcher knife in her hand. Like, Leon, you going to talk to me, MF, you going to talk to me. Bring your butt outside. Yelling loud in front of my friends. And I was like, my friends like, man, what's up, player? You got all the women. You got it tripping. You got them going crazy over you. I like that. Narcissistic people love the negative attention. It makes them feel good. It makes them feel important. It makes them feel empowered. But she came to my job, and I was supposed to be a professional recruiter. Another time, a lady came and picked me up. We was arguing. She caught me cheating with another woman, tried to run me off the road, chased me up and down in Cleveland, Ohio, and then went home and told her mom, and mom called me. I go over there to see her, but I never, when a narcissistic person gets into it with a woman, or a narcissistic woman gets into it with a man, and then you sit down and talk about it, and you like, please, let's just stop. Let's not argue anymore. Let's not fight anymore. They're like, okay, cool. But they're going to do it again because they get something out of pushing your buttons. They get something out of making you cry. They get something out of making you stress the hell out. They get something out of making you smoke and drink and lose hair. They get something out of it. They get a rise out of it. It makes them feel good. It's very euphoric. I can't explain it, but it's like, oh, yeah, I pushed her buttons. I made her trip out. I made her come ring my doorbell. She threw eggs in my car. I had women cut my tires, all kind of stuff. I had one woman, when I was in recruiting duty, came to my job and wrote BITCH on my windshield, my car, in pink lipstick. And I laughed it off, and I just kept dating her. Last story was with a woman years ago at a party, and a woman came up to me, hey, Leon, feed me meatballs on a toothpick. And I was like, and I'm looking at her as she walking by. Yeah. And the lady that I was with didn't like it. Saw she was looking at me. I didn't realize she was looking at me. And so we get home that night. It's like, why are you letting this BITCH feed you MF meatballs? And I'm like, laughing off. And as soon as I'm like, girl, you slap me all in my mouth. Tip them too. I got a chip too because I got slapped in my mouth. Playing games, pushing women to their limits. Narcissistic people don't like to change. They won't change until they get help. They like being who they are because they get a euphoric feeling out of pushing your buttons, driving you crazy, making you stalk them, making you come to their job, come over their house, call their parents, call the mother, the sister, brother. They like that. It's like the negative attention means more to them than any type of positive attention because it shows that you are crazy about them. That's why narcissistic people don't want to change, don't like to change because they feel good about the negative attention. They used to be the person that you are, going over, crazy about people, crying, tears, nose running, texting, calling, where you at, why you do me this way? They know how it feels to be that person, so they make you that person to them, and they enjoy it. That's something they do love. All right, y'all have a great day.